Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So what are your impressions of Valhalla, just for folks that have not seen it on TV or didn't watch the Ryder Cups or past majors?
You know, they see a PGA maybe at a Southern Hills or a Bet Page or, whatever it may be. And they're like, Valhalla and Louisville, Kentucky. But like, look at the tournaments produced and it's insane. Yeah. It really has. And obviously, of course, I'm biased toward it.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Welcome in-game live prime time, hour number one of our 2-hour extravaganza on this terrific money-making Tuesday. Yes, it's a beautiful thing. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching and betting on the world of sports. We call this Elimination Day, Dave, because we have 6 teams facing elimination. If they were to lose tonight, they will be done in the postseason. 4 in hockey, 2 in the NBA. We got the Milwaukee Bucks and we got the Philadelphia 76ers in the NBA. NHL, we got the Islanders, we got Nashville, we have Toronto Maple Leafs, and we have the New York Islanders, right? Did I say mention them? And Winnipeg. And Winnipeg. So, first question out of the box. Out of the 6, how many? You don't have to give me the names right now, but this time tomorrow, or, about an hour from now tomorrow, how many will still be alive after tonight, bottom line?
What, the Hockeys? Or
all
the
together,
Sixers are
all
done.
together. We'll break it all down a little bit, but just out of the 6, how many do you think are alive after tonight? 2, 1, 3?
If I made the number 1.5, would you bet over or under?
Oh, over. Definitely
you
over.
You would?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Winnipeg can win. I think Philadelphia 76ers could win. And I'm waiting for that one big, I mentioned this on the podcast today. I'm waiting for that one big upset. Like we had it with Miami against the Celtics game 2. I don't know if we've necessarily had it in hockey, and maybe Nashville winning in game 2, but they've gone on to lose 2 in a row. So, you throw that out the window. Like I'm waiting for that one crazy, how's that going to happen, right? So I think that could happen tonight. Maybe the Islanders. I certainly think the Maple Leafs could beat Boston.
I think you've been in New York too long because I don't know. It's happening to me. I can tell you that. I saw enough on Saturday, and I kind of became a Knicks fan, if you know what I mean. Like it's just
right.
It's one of those things.
I see that.
Right
I see that.
I got all the stuff. I got all the stuff.
That.
You guys are sending me all the New York stuff. This is great. I really appreciate it. Brunson. He converted me. I was thinking about Bernard King, and I was thinking about the Knicks and how much fun it was, and I'm all in. So it ain't going to be the Sixers. Let's just stop that. I really wanted them to win. The Islanders are not beating. I don't think they're beating the Hurricanes tonight. This is that spot where the favorite does what Florida did yesterday. Islanders keep it close. They got a goal. They were down 2-0. At least they got a goal. It's 2-1. So they're right there. But it just gets to the point where either the desperation, they open up and they have to, change what they do. They have to have a lead. They have to have a lead, protect it in the third period. I don't think they're coming back. Now, Toronto is an interesting story, and we'll have Cam on later. And I don't know if Cam's condition will be any better than it was yesterday because he was so defeated. He was so down. He had enough. He's done talking about the Leafs and their chances, and he said, we just can't beat this team. Marchand said, Bruins in 5. This is over in 5. So that one's done. I think you're one with Winnipeg. You got a shot. The late hockey game is the one that has me intrigued. I think Vancouver and Nashville is going to be a hell of a hockey game. And Wetzel, can you remember the last time you saw a team win a game like Vancouver won against Nashville the other night?
I know.
How does that happen?
We've seen teams score 2 goals, not just one, right? 2 goals in the final 3 minutes on the road. And in the case of Nashville, you're down 2-1. You win. You go back to Vancouver 2-2. You got all the momentum. You're facing a third-string goaltender. I mean, you talk about completely changing the complexion of that series. Instead, it's 3-1, and they're basically emotionally doomed, right? I mean, it's funny. I turned it off. I'm flipping the channels, and I forget what I turned on. And I look at a text chain. A bunch of the guys on the podcast were all in this text chain. And I see one guy email, like, what happened? How are they in overtime? And I'm like, no, that can't be. It was 3-1 2 seconds ago. And then, of course, I flip back on the game, and I see them starting overtime or at least ending the regulation period. So
right,
that's a tough one. That's a tough one, Dave.
How
you lose that.
How are we looking with the SW Corporation champion parlay?
We're looking good. We're looking, yeah. We were kind of in a tough spot there for a little while, but we're looking good with the hockey because we had the Dallas Stars down 2-0 in a whole lot of trouble. We had Colorado, looking awful after game 1. They're now up 3-1. Dallas came back and won the last 2, obviously, 2-2. And then we got Florida as well. I tell you, we got it. I don't want to jinx this, Dave, but we actually got a halfway decent chance to hit this thing, knowing we got the Celtics and the Denver Nuggets in the NBA, along with Milwaukee, which I think does lose tonight. But we got a chance to hit that 3-legger, believe it or not.
I'd rather they lose tonight than give us false hope,
be done with
because
it.
I think that's all it is at this point with the Milwaukee Bucks. They didn't know Giannis was going to be hurt. They definitely didn't know Dame was going to be hurt, but they did know that they were changing coaches when they were at 30-13, and it hasn't been the same since. Nothing but positive mojo and momentum for the Pacers, and nothing but. Not that the black cloud is a bad thing, because we have a black cloud play here with you every Tuesday and Wednesday, which I absolutely love. This has to end. Let's get this one done out of the way. I feel like they're hanging on for dear life. And the way that the Bucks win tonight is that the Pacers have their worst game of the series. That's the only way I think they win tonight.
Yeah. This almost feels like 3-0. When it's 3-1, like 3-0, game 4, It's like, you know what, it's done.
The series price reflects that.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I mean, wow, and that's with Milwaukee theoretically having 2 home games left if they weren't to push into a game 7. Right? Yeah. I mean, so if Dame doesn't play tonight, and that 4.5 tells you he's not playing, that the opening line, right, that would be close to pick him if he was playing, and they can't. How are they going to win, right? They can't win tonight.
No,
Milwaukee.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I was impressed with OKC. I was wrong about that as far as last night's concerned. I did not think a young team, right? Tough to win the 4th game. We saw Denver even lose against the Lakers and stuff. I mean, for them to win against New Orleans, awful job by the Pelicans. Great job by OKC, though. I'll tell you that. So I don't know
Yeah.
if Indiana, another young team, can do the same, kind of completing the sweep, if you will. But I think they do tonight.
A little bit of changing of the guard right there in the NBA, right? Teams out.
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns, KD out. Lakers out. LeBron, who knows if he's coming back or not? I mean, they made this big deal about it. Giannis and the Bucks, Dame Lillard could be out after tonight. How about how good Minnesota looked? I mean, you want to talk about a young team that did get the sweep, did get the win on the road, and closed out the series along with OKC. That's the way that game kind of plays out tonight. We'll see. There'll be a lot of in-game opportunity with that as the show goes tonight.
Yeah. It's interesting. 16 opening round series, right? 8 NHL, 8 NBA. We have Cleveland, Orlando tied 2-2. We have Dallas Clippers tied 2-2. Is there anybody in hockey tied 2-2 off the top of my head?
Dallas and Vegas.
Dallas and Vegas 2-2. So only 3 out of 16, only 3 series. That's amazing, right? I mean, that I never would have bet an under on that if they put a bet out like that.
I would have guessed 1 or 2 in the NBA. I would have guessed 2 or 3 in hockey, right? I'm surprised at the hockey there isn't a couple more, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, really am. It's usually set up that way. So we'll even this in the NHL. All right, quick break. We'll check out all lines when we come back. In-game live, prime time, just getting underway.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long-term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that have been here a couple of years, and then go get the high-profile recruit and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live, prime time, hour number 1. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan, just getting underway. We got NBA, we got NHL, and then we got that monster baseball game as the Miami Marlins host the Colorado Rockies. How many people in Miami are going to that game, Dave? 2 worst teams in the in MLB, this side of the White Sox. One with 6 wins, one with 7. Honestly, what do you think? Knowing it's Miami anyway, what are we going to get, 6,000, 5,000 maybe tonight for that game on a Tuesday night? Heat aren't in action, but still.
You get these games here live Major League Baseball slate. Compare that game, Colorado-Miami, to late night Pittsburgh and Oakland. All right, we did that today on Bostonian versus Book. Which game will get more people? Tuesday night Miami, Tuesday night in Oakland. You get, this is the last trip ever for the Pirates, and everybody that's a Pirate fan from history or lives anywhere close was probably going to go. I don't know what the attendance was last night. Colorado coming into Miami. I don't know how many people, are displaced or moved from the West, the Rockies to Miami. I would say there's going to be less people at Colorado, Miami. Thought the game would go under. Was surprised at the number. Odds makers continue to make Miami favored, no matter who they're playing. And
yeah,
I just, in those situations, you go, give me the plus money. That's how you start. And now, you're up 5-0 going to the 7th. That's a good result so far. But I don't know. Would you go to the game? Like if you're down there this week, you, the wife, the kids, could you say to your daughter, hey, you want to go see the Marlins play the Rockies tonight? I could get really good seats. There's not that many people there. Would you go?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. If I had been to the stadium before, maybe not. But, I enjoy going to new stadiums and arenas all the time. So it's baseball. I mean, you got a great chance to get a foul ball, right? I mean, whether it's through batting practice or during the game itself. To be able to drive up, we're here in New York, and Yanks and Mets and any other team here, there's always crowd there, right? So you always got to budget yourself 2 hours to get to the ballpark. Literally, if it's a 7 o'clock start, we'll say, no matter what the sport, you got to go by 5 o'clock. You got to leave your house, otherwise forget about it. So to be able to hop in the car a half hour before the game, let's go see a Marlins game. Why not? Get tickets for $5. Enjoy peace and quiet, tranquility, just, sitting there all by yourself, no one walking in front of you, no one yelling and screaming behind you. Yeah, why not? I would. Wouldn't you?
I absolutely would. I've done this before. I've kind of scouted out, like when we're going on vacation, like was it a team close or stadium, just in case there's something to do. And my kids are, we're a baseball family, softball family. We've done this before. And absolutely I would go. Now, we had this question come up today, too. Would you go to batting practice? Do you like going to batting practice? I know you're a be there early type of guy. I love going early as soon as the gates open and catching batting practice. Do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
It was great growing up, and I don't know how they do it now. It's been a long time since I've been to a baseball game, but we always used to go to Red Sox-Yankee doubleheaders. Father was a big Red Sox fan. My cousins and uncle, big Yankee fans. So those would be the games that we would go to at Yankee Stadium. And the road team, for whatever reason, would always bat second. So we would always get there, while they open the gates about an hour before first pitch, and we'd get to see the Red Sox have batting practice all the time. This is great. Meanwhile, the Stanky fans, they get screwed because they were hitting batting practice first, and, the gates weren't open at that point. So, yeah, batting practice, absolutely. A special thrill about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just seeing the guys mingle around. They're not doing anything special, but just see them kind of out of character, right? Just having them walk around and do whatever.
I love watching guys work, and I used to love going to practice. When I was an intern and I was a sports producer after I graduated Penn State, I'd go to practices all the time. I'd go early to watch batting practice and go to games all the time. Yes, going to games, great. Watching games with you here on SportsGrid, almost as good. I feel like we're at the game sometimes while we're talking, watching games, and pointing out betting opportunities. Knicks are up 49-43 at the half, Scott. It's tough. So
5.5. Yeah. Little surprised, they were at a 4.5-point favorite. They're up 6, and it's only 5.5. Is that jive with you, or should it be a little bit higher?
That's right on the number. It shouldn't be more.
Yeah.
Right. So this is right where it falls. It falls 6, 7, or 8 according to that number. Or it might fall 5, but I mean, how much further are they going to extend the lead? Are they winning this game by 20? If you think so, play that number. But there'll probably be a run the Sixers have been so good during the season in the third quarter. So I think you can't make that number more than the deficit, just under half a point. Makes perfect sense to me.
All right. How about Tobias Harris and Embiid? Embiid is playing. There was a little concern about that. 8 points. They got his number. Was 32.5 to start, or right around there again, depending on what you do your shopping. It's down to 24.5. You know, he was sick. He had migraine. Not sick, but he had migraines. Didn't have shoot-around today. I don't know if that's affected his play, but, is he going to have a monster second half? They're not giving you much of a discount. He would still need 17 points second half, but elimination game, is he not going to get 25?
Oh, boy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he said, I don't know. There's too many questions, right? Like, I don't know. At this point, the elimination game thing, the health thing, there's so many factors working. I'm not confident saying he's going to get anything. If this turns into ugly blowout, it's, sit on the bench and let's, take our lumps and go home. That's it.
Yeah.
You saw I'm a Knicks fan now, right? I mean, you saw the picture. I'm a Knicks fan. I got all the gear.
I see that. Big time Knicks fan. You got everything.
Look,
you got the hat. You got
jersey,
the foam
finger,
one.
hat,
jersey,
all
00 jersey as
We're
well.
showing that every segment.
Every segment. Coming back.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long-term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that are going to be there a couple of years, and then go get the high-profile recruit and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan, just getting underway. Looking at the NBA, Dave. I found some interesting numbers before we get to our same game parlay. Did want to throw out you real quickly with Tobias Harris, right? Dude averages 17 points a game. I always like going through the player props and seeing what stands out, right? And today's number was 10.5, and I said 10.5. I wasn't exactly sure how much he averaged, but, I knew it was well over that. So I looked it up. The guy averages 17 points a game, and they were giving us 10.5, right? So I'm all set to go to the bank, make a deposit on FanDuel, and bet the mortgage on his over, right? And I said, well, let me just look up and see how well he's done, because it doesn't make any sense, right?
No.
So the Knicks and 76ers have faced each other 8 times this year, including the 4 in the postseason. You know how many times he's scored 11 points? A guy who averages over 17 in 8 games. He has scored 11 points.
3 times.
1. And
One
it was 11.
time?
It was 11. It wasn't even like 12, 13, 14. 1 time out of 8. I took the car keys out of my pocket. I put them on the counter and said, all right, forget about that notion.
That's it.
Now he has 10 tonight. And I bring it. He already has 10. In fact, he had the first 5 points. You know, I was kicking myself. So they got his number at 15.5. So what do we say 15.5 is still a great bargain from the 17? Or do we say that the guy has that, he averages 6 points a game against the Knicks this year? So let's bet the under 15.5.
I think we should just do a same-game parlay with something else. I hope this isn't involved in your same-game parlay. Please. That's a hard one.
No, it's not.
Oh,
That's
good.
a tough one, right?
All right.
That's a tough one. Every once in a while, knowledge can be a dangerous thing, though. I didn't play it now. I wish I did because he's got 10. So, anyway, little SGP time here on the grid. All right, let's go back to the ice out west Edmonton. I think it's West Edmonton. At least it is for where I live. That's for sure. We got 4 legs to this parlay. I'm on the East Coast, so it's got to be west of me. We're going to go with the Edmonton Oilers. They got to finish off. This is one of several teams that face elimination. Actually, it was 6. 4 in hockey, with the LA Kings being one of them. I think they're cooked. They're just a better team, Edmonton. They've beaten LA 10 of their last 12 meetings, 6-2 this year. They scored 4 goals or more in 9 of those 12 games. So Edmonton, we're going to start. We're going to go Connor McDavid in goal. He only has 1 in this series. He can't finish off this series with only 1 goal. We'll go Connor McDavid, 3 shots on goal. He gets that in each period, so I'm not worried about that. And then Evander Kane, 3+ shots on goal as well. Add it all up, nice little fat. What do we got? About 6-1, 7-1 there, depending on where you do your shopping. So, So I like Edmonton tonight. I think that is going to be a winner, Dave.
Okay. Just do me a favor and write all of this down if you're watching the show, because the game is tomorrow. It's not tonight.
Oh,
and
I knew I screwed up there somehow.
This is
all right.
I didn't check this specific. I just saw SGP time and all this other stuff. I would have told you. It's fine. That actually looks pretty good because I like Edmonton to close it out and a couple of those other items. So this will be good. I don't remember you doing this ever before, taking such an advanced study.
Yeah, got to get ahead of the game.
This means it's probably good. Now, what we're going to have to do is maybe on the fly in a line change. We only got 2 minutes. We'll come up with a same game parlay for the night game. You and I together. We'll talk it through.
Okay.
We'll work it out. We'll be fast, and we'll have one for the people for the night game tonight. But that's your same game parlay for tomorrow.
Right. So make a copy of what I just said, and we'll play that tomorrow.
Right there.
You go.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Put that on the game. You can put that on the Rundown Creator. How about that? Little extra bonus there for the boys.
Lock it in.
Right?
Lock it in.
Put it in.
That's perfect.
Lock it in.
Yes. So, all right.
I knew that, when I was going over the teams that were facing elimination, I just said to myself, I don't remember saying LA, and they're down 3-1. I get tricked every once in a while because they list all the games and they don't really kind of highlight. They don't separate the dates.
They don't. On the betting apps, be very careful of that. It's another good piece of advice.
Yeah. I mean,
we
the
got a
best
big guest coming up next segment.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Griffin Murphy, DocSports.com. We'll get some winners from him next here on the grid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long-term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that are going to be there a couple of years, and then go get the high-profile recruit and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, prime time here on the grid. 32 past the hour. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern time, looking at the world of sports. Let us bring in our first guest from DocSports.com. You see him from time to time, Griffin Murphy here on the grid. Griffin, let's start a little NBA, shall we? Right across the street from us here in New York, Knicks trying to close out the Philadelphia 76ers. You may have heard our conversation there about some of the props Dave and I were talking about, but Knicks up 49-43, getting set to start the third quarter. Your thoughts on the game so far?
Yeah, Scott, I mean, again, it's another crazy one. The Knicks were trailing in this game early, and then Jalen Brunson once again doing it all. I mean, this New York Knicks team is on fire. They rolled into playoffs on a 5-game winning streak. Now they're 8-1 in their last 9 games. Brunson coming off a 47-point game. He is the heart and soul of this team, and he is carrying the load. OG really playing very good basketball. Josh Hart cleaning up on the boards. These 3 guys are performing on every single level needed for this team to execute in this series, and that's exactly what they're doing. For the 76ers, on the other hand, it's tough. As I mentioned, Embiid getting thrown into the mix of fire. And then you would suspect after he dropped that 50-point game 2 games ago, hey, maybe this team's going to start flowing. Maybe the chemistry's back in action. Well, it's not starting to seem so that well. New York is really putting it on them. They're getting out coached. You've asked everything you could have possibly asked for out of Tyrese Maxey. He's performing at the highest level. In postseason alone, this guy is averaging 31 points per game, which is incredible. It's simple, guys. The 76ers are just being outperformed. And I don't care what defense is on the court right now. There's nobody stopping Jalen Brunson. I love the way the New York Knicks are playing. I love the way they're being coached. They have a phenomenal coach. And I love the way that Jalen Brunson is carrying at the helm with this team. I like the Knicks closing it out today, gentlemen.
All right, Griff, what do you think about the Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers? I mean, look at this series, and home teams have prevailed easily right now.
Sure.
Cleveland's out to a big lead. Is there a number that you would consider taking the Magic with, or is this one of those home team wins and covers and we kind of move on, or do you give the Magic much of a shot of even winning the game tonight?
I got to be honest with you, Dave. I like the Magic here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they won this game outright. Going back 2 games ago, before they were down 0-2, Cleveland had absolute dominance at home, and that was all due to rebounds and just out shooting Orlando in a wholesome. Then, in the past 2 games, Orlando got themselves back home, cleaned up 2 wins. Banchero absolutely went off to clean up that first victory at home. He dropped over 30 points. He was double digits in rebounds. He did it all. And then the guy who we have been waiting for all series long to pop out is Franz Wagner. And this guy, coming off a 34-point game, 12 rebounds. He is the X factor. He is the guy that this team needs to perform. When he plays well, this team plays well. Isaac is playing good on the boards. Suggs is playing out of his mind. This Orlando Magic team is playing phenomenal basketball right now. They already left Cleveland with a bad taste in their mouth. So now, in my eyes, guys, this game is personal. Donovan Mitchell has been the guy they needed to slow down. He has not scored over 20 points in the last 2 games. This has all been on Orlando with their dynamics across out rebounding, out shooting. Now coming back into Cleveland's kind of in that mode where, like, hey, we've got them at home before, we've done it, we can do it again. Orlando, on the other hand, well, you come in tonight, they're playing hot basketball. They already left with a bad taste in their mouth. Not only is it personal to the Magic on the court, but it's personal to the fans. I love the way the Orlando Magic switched up this series, really started kicking it into gear from the floor, from the arc, and especially on the rebounds. Dave, I would not be surprised if Orlando wins this game outright. And on top of that, when you want to go to against the spread covering, and I know it's not huge in playoff basketball, but Orlando 32-11 when playing against the spread, when playing a team with equal rest. They're 29-17 against the spread after a win, and this season they were the best team in all of the NBA covering the spread, going 51-31. I love Orlando tonight. If they win this game tonight, I've got them finishing up the series in the following game coming up, Dave.
Wow. All right. So knowing that they're down 10, I imagine then, Griff, I don't know if you're going to double down or you put a little, I always tell people to put a couple of shekels to the side on a play you like in case things don't work out. You get a better number. You're getting 8.5 now, up from the 5.5 it was to start the game. I imagine you like them just as well, even though they're down 10.
Scott, absolutely nothing's going to change my mind about this team. I was just watching the first half of the Knicks game. They were down, I want to say, 16 points, and then all of a sudden, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart start going off. Nothing in my eyes is going to change us. Going into second half, we could check out the score and see if there's a little differential, but I like Orlando here, and I think they are coming out with fire. This is way too early in the game for me. If you're going to give me the 8.5 points, give me those extra 3.5 points because I'm going to take them all day, Scott.
We got coming up tonight, West Coast time, 6:30, 9:30 Eastern. Indiana is looking to close out a series against Milwaukee. Number pretty much on the odd screen I got, it's about 4.5 everywhere. You see some 4s. You feel as strongly about a side or total in this one as you do about Orlando, sir?
So I don't feel necessarily as strong about this game. I'm going to much more be a fan in doing so. Obviously, you're dealing with Haliburton, who's suffering from back spasms. He's on and off. We don't necessarily know if he's good to go right now. But look at the way that Miles Turner has showed up. We already know how Sakayam's playing. He's one of the top postseason performers on the offensive side right now, averaging almost 30 points a game, if not more. Miles Turner has had double digits every game this season. Haliburton gets to start tonight. You have 3 powerhouse players. And let's not forget, Haliburton hasn't been scoring a lot of points, but he is leading right now in postseason assists. He's swinging the ball out and he's getting his team involved. Then you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, they're banged up. Giannis, game time decision, probably not playing. I don't know if he's been ruled out. Lillard, game time decision. I don't know if he's been ruled out. I don't think either of them are going to play. So what do you do here, Dave? Do you suspect that Middleton's going to carry the load? Bobby Portis is playing really well, other than one bad game in the postseason thus far. And then you've got to rely on Lopez. He's a huge body. He's playing out of his mind. Dave, I just don't think Milwaukee has enough depth to cover in this game. The only thing that they do have going for them right now is their home court dominance, going going 31-11 at home this season. That is why I think this line with the Pacers is laying only 4.5. Again, I wouldn't touch this game because it seems like a trap bet to me. 4.5 points. I feel as it should be more 6.5, maybe 7. So I smell a trap here, so I'm fading away from it. The only reason I wouldn't suspect a trap is how dominant Milwaukee plays at home. But without Lillard and Giannis, how are they going to get it done relying on these three guys? They're just not deep enough in my eyes, Dave.
How about the over? You know, I know it's not a favorite game of yours, but I'll throw it at you. We talked on Sunday, and it's the same thing to me, Griff. You know, same as Sunday. I mean, Indiana's going to put 120 on the board unless you think Milwaukee's going to lay a complete egg at home. I don't know how this stays under 217. I think they're overcompensating for the loss of Giannis and Lillard. Way too much.
I agree with you here as well, Scott. The thing for me is last time we talked about this, I was big on the Pacers. They covered that game. I liked the under because it opened at 220 and then it ended up closing at 216. So that started scaring me and it was giving me a sense of trap, meaning Indiana's going to blow them out and Milwaukee is not going to be able to score points. Here, I'm kind of having the same situation. I'm kind of feeling the same thing. I get that Milwaukee is at home in this game, but once again, I just don't think that they're deep enough to cover it here. I think this is going to be more so of a low-scoring game. I don't think we're going to see any crazy outbreaking blowout matchup here, but if I had to go with the side here, I would stick the under and I would stick with the Pacers laying the points. But again, Scott, I do not love either of these plays. These are just me going off of what I think my analysis, but this is more of a fade game for me. I'm going to be a fan here, Scott, and I'm going to watch this game and enjoy myself. That's where I'm at with this one, brother.
How about that notion? A game in which we really don't bet. Yeah, it is legal, actually, believe it or not, folks. Griff, great job as always. DocSports.com. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, brother.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that have been here a couple of years and then go get the high-profile recruit and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, prime time here on the grid. Dave Sharapan, yours truly, Scott Wetzel. Thanks again to Griffin Murphy from Doc Sports joining us. So he loves he loves the Orlando Magic. So down 10 last time I checked. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Hockey, Dave, we got no scoring updates as far as changes. Boston still 1-1, final seconds of the second period. No scoring in the second period. That's a little scrum here. We'll see who gets the power play, if anybody, out of this. And then Carolina, they had a penalty shot goal in the first period. So they've started the second period, couple of minutes in, 3-1, and it's locked. I don't know what's going on there because my TV's a little behind the scene. But 3-1 Carolina over the Islanders. Your impression so far, both those games?
Playing out the Bruins and the Maple Leafs exactly the way a team down 3-1 that the Maple Leafs should be playing. Now, I don't know how this is all going to get sorted out. There may be a power play opportunity right before the end of the second period. 22 seconds left. It looks like the Bruins are going to be shorthanded. So the opportunity to bet the Maple Leafs, if you think they score on the power play with fresh ice at the beginning of the period, is right at the beginning of the period or right as soon as this one ends. Unless there's a goal, 22 seconds left. Yeah, that's going to determine the game. Wow, Marchand's in the box. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of pushing and shoving. This will be. I can't wait to see how this gets sorted out. Carolina's playing out exactly as it should.
Islanders scored
pretty much. Who?
Islanders scored 3-2. Hey, you can't kill this team. Yeah, you can't kill this team. You know. Yeah. I got it. I bet the under 8.5 when it was 3-1. I figured things would settle down second period, but here we are, 4 minutes in, and we got a goal. So it's still 8.5.
Did you see that? You saw that game over the weekend. The Islanders are going to give everything they got. The team doesn't quit. The team, plays a certain way, regardless of the score, the same way, the right way, physical. They're going to get theirs. They're going to keep this thing as tight as could be. I don't think Carolina won't be comfortable until the end. So, we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know. Yeah. I'm watching the Magic coming back. It was good to hear from Griff. I'm still looking at the hockey games for tonight. Avalanche taking care of the Jets tonight. No. That one feels like the one that's the most done to me.
Yeah, you think? Boy, whether it's 4-0 or 5-1, but 4-1 or 4-2, it's hard beating a team 4 straight times. And that's what you're asking Colorado to do tonight. Remember, they lost game 1. Everyone figured, Colorado's, going to get crushed by Winnipeg. And they won 3 in a row. Winnipeg at home, pick them, basically. Right? I mean, are they going to lay down that bad and lose 4 in a row? I don't know. I like Winnipeg to start the series. I'm hoping for Colorado because we got the Avs as one of our 3 hockey teams, so we're still alive if they advance. But, boy, I tell you, that would be a bad postseason for Winnipeg, right? I mean, lose 4 in a row after winning the first game especially? I like the Jets at home. It happens.
Right? I mean, it happens. I think that if the Jets take a couple penalties, you see how good the Avalanche power play is. They're going to be toast. They won that crazy game 7-6 and then have had a couple injuries. And Hellebuck has been not the best so far on the other 3 games, giving up a lot of goals for them. I think Winnipeg wins. The game goes under, right? He stands on his head. Right. The way Toronto's getting a good goaltending performance tonight. It's 1-1 after 2. If you'd have told the Maple Leafs you'll be 1-1 in Boston tonight facing elimination, they would have signed for it. So, I mean, Winnipeg would probably sign for the same thing. We'll be 1-1 after 2. Let's take our chances.
6.5 is the total. You're right? Especially if it's Winnipeg. Could Colorado win 3-2? Yeah, I could see that. But I can't see Winnipeg winning like a 7-6 again. I don't think they just don't have that kind of firepower. So to me, if you're going to put Winnipeg in, you put the under 6.5, right? I mean, 7 goals is a lot anyway. So
you
I'm
saw
surprised.
what happened yesterday in the Florida game, right? You get multiple empty
That's
netters.
Why you get. That's why I bet overs for the most part in elimination games. I mean, there's just who cares? We lose 6-1, 5-1. I mean, if you had the under 6.5 It's 2-1, Dave, with 10 minutes left in the third period. Even overtime, okay, 3-2, who cares? What's the difference, right? I mean, and then it was one empty net goal after another, and it's just like, you got to be kidding me. Just, but you got to know that.
If you have the over, though, right, then that's
great.
a good win, right? That's you
I
had it
all
handicapped perfectly. Right.
Yeah.
There's not even a sweat. I wasn't even worried about it. That's the fun part about the book. Like, everybody forgets those. We've talked about that multiple times. You remember that bad beat when you lost by a half, or, you had a late goal beat you, like, in Vancouver and Nashville last game. I mean, they missed an empty net, they hit the post, don't score. Vancouver scores again to tie it. And then 2 minutes in, they win the game in overtime. That's a really hard hockey game tonight. I think that's the hardest game on the board myself.
Yeah.
You like a side or total in that?
It's tough, because most people generally think, okay, there's no way Nashville can overcome that. They're too demoralized, this, that, what have you. But I've come to see way more teams that you think are going to be demoralized actually have more fight, because they're so anxious to get back on the ice. They're so ticked off they lost that they actually win, and the other team has the letdown. So, beating a team 3 times in a row, like we're asking Vancouver to do, is tough to do. You do have that third-string goaltender, and you got a little bit of a book. I imagine it's going to be him again tonight for Vancouver. So
I think so.
I like the over
right now. Yeah.
I like the over.
You like the over? Wow.
I do. Yeah.
I think you need a miracle for it to go over. I mean, the only way it is if Vancouver's winning, it gets that extra empty netter. Yeah, I think this is a super tight game. Soccer on ice tonight. 2-1 or 3-2 final. Yep.
All right, we'll talk about it when we come back. In-game live primetime continues.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long-term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that have been here a couple of years, and then go get the high-profile recruit and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in game live, prime time here on the grid, wrapping up hour number 1. Still a full hour to go, so don't go anywhere. In fact, we got a lot to do this hour as we check out the NBA, NHL, little baseball here as well. How about a little black cloud action with our best play of the night? All right, you know what? There's a saying we use here with the boys in the podcast, and don't make this stuff harder than it has to be is the saying. And to me, I'm going to use that with an NBA game, Dave. Indiana at Milwaukee. The over-under is 217. I actually like Indiana a lot as well, but we've seen these teams kind of rise up without their star players. I really don't think the Bucks will, but I am confident the Bucks will score at least 100 points at home, and I'm really confident that Indiana's going to score 120 or more. So I don't know how this thing doesn't stay over or how it does stay under 217, which is what the number is. I love the over in the game. Milwaukee 5-2 over last 7, 8-1 over last 9 first-round playoff games. Indiana 8-1 over their last 9 games, 6-0 over their last 6 games when playing on 1 day's rest, which is what they're doing here. The game went way over on Sunday. And again, the fact that Milwaukee's at home, they're going to get 100 points. Indiana couldn't stop the peak of high, for goodness sakes. And Indiana's going to score 100-plus. So I love the I really do. I think this is one of the better plays over 217, Indiana-Milwaukee.
Okay. The number is a drastic adjustment off of, I just looked, the Bucks score 119 points per game. And the Pacers score 120 points per game. So if this was all told regular season, all full rosters, it would be closer to 238, 236 and a half would probably be the number that we would put up. So big adjustment. I'll just say good luck. I want to do something here real quick though. Do you remember Kreskin?
Yep.
Do you remember when Johnny Carson used to
Johnny Carson?
So I'm going to try and think of what your Black Cloud play of the night tomorrow is going to be.
Okay.
I'm going to think about this, and it's NBA. I feel like it could be NBA. Let me look at the board here. Games tomorrow, yes. If I told you your Black Cloud play of the night tomorrow, I just came up with it, is the Dallas Mavericks in Game 5 on the road, favored in LA. Would I be close?
Yeah, you know what? We'll have to see for tomorrow. But it could be. It could be.
Suspense.
We could be. The suspense, the buildup. Don't want to give it out too early. Although, I must say, I think that line goes up. I don't think Kawhi's playing. If Kawhi's playing, then it would go down, but I don't think he will play. So I would hop on. It is a great play. I do love Dallas tomorrow, laying 2.5. They played like just trash in Game 4. Perfect bounce-back spot. Love looking for teams in those spots, even though it ended up being a close game. But I do like Dallas tomorrow. What about you?
I really like Dallas on Sunday. I walked around town.
Me
I had
too.
a couple people to meet and see guys about some things, and I wore the old Dirk fit and hat, and I was all mavericked up. And, I left the house. They were down 31. I got to the book, and they were tied. It was great. Thought they were going to win the game. So, yeah, I can see the play. I got guys like Tommy DeLipto and Jimmy I can't say his name because it's a swear word, but these guys that know people, they're all on the Clippers. So, I think it's a really good number. Yeah, I could go either way. The other Black Cloud part of the night that you got to overcome is me being a Knicks fan. I cannot believe this game is going back and forth. I just checked the score. I'm going to have to bring out the foam finger for this one because we got 1 point game going to the fourth quarter. What do we do, Wetzel? What do we do? 70-69, end of the third quarter. What's the play?
Yeah. Boy, they're expecting a 57 point fourth quarter. How are we getting 50?
That would be the highest scoring quarter of the night by far.
Oh, no, wait, 47. 47. They're at 140. Yeah, my bad.
I was ready to dump
I'm
all
kind
in
of
on
off
the under.
tonight. See, I had
Oh,
a
my
conversation
goodness.
with the wife today. The whole my brain is just scrambled. I just, it's just everything's out of whack today. So yeah, all right. But Knicks at home, right? Laying 1.5. How's that not getting cashed? They're gonna win tonight, right?
Number one.
Right?
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that have been here a couple of years, and then go get the high-profile recruit, and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in to In-Game Live PrimeTime, hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan. The numbers are coming in. The scores are flipping. NBA, NHL postseason, a little baseball as well. And George Kurtz will join us in about a half hour or so. We'll do some hockey with him. Baskets, Dave, Philadelphia leading now the Knickerbockers, 74-70, early moments of the fourth quarter. Knicks now even. Philadelphia even as well, or minus 122, which is sad that we actually associate that as being even nowadays. And how about Griffin Murphy's Orlando Magic? I didn't really like the play. They were down 10. True to his convictions, he said he loved Orlando plus 8.5. They've come back, cut the Cleveland lead to 1, 48-47 at the half. Cleveland's still a 3.5-point favorite there, over under 194.5. Any of those games, any bets you'd make right now? I know you're a big Knick fan, but I think you got so much on them. But you do think they're going to win, right? Are they going to lose tonight?
Boy, oh boy, I don't know. I just like Brunson and everything, what they did last game. Look, I went to the merch shop. I got one of everything and said, just give it all to me because we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. We want Boston, all of it. And
see that middle finger? See that finger, by the way? If they lose tonight, you got to get the other foam hand, and with the finger that's up is the middle finger, not the pointing finger. So they sell those on the streets. You can't buy those in the guard, but you can buy those on the streets. So
don't give Frankie any ideas, but don't let the Sixers win tonight. Don't let it happen, Knicks, because that's You got to go back to Philadelphia. I mean, apparently all the Knicks fans went to Philadelphia. They put a Knicks jersey on the Dr. J statue outside. That is complete
really?
blasphemy.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
they did. I can't believe it. But the series
Out of all
prices
the teams that are down 3-1, hockey
Yep.
and NBA,
Yep.
which one do you think, if they win game 5 tonight, that really
Nashville.
will flip the series?
For me, it's
Well, you're
Nashville.
into that Nashville team, huh? Yeah.
I thought the series should be 2-2. Yes.
Right.
Vancouver is on life support as far as the goalie situation. Vancouver, though, got more heart. That team is so impressive the way they've, fought through adversity. They've had multiple, goalie situations. There was a little turmoil beginning of the season. Tocchet hasn't playing great playoff hockey, especially on the road. But I feel like they have to knock them out tonight. Now, that series price with the Sixers and the Knicks, that's kind of what we would call in a business an out price. I mean, when you see 850, then it's even higher when it's double digits. It's telling you just take a shot there on the Sixers at plus 540, please. Let's get it today, because if they lose, it's over. But if they win, that baby gets put right in half, and the Sixers are home. If they're healthy, they're favored, and then we got to worry about a game 7. So, I'm watching it now. I flipped to the basketball. I've been dedicated to the hockey here, in the studio, watching the games, and it's time for the Knicks run. They better get this together, because the Sixers' fourth quarter the other day was so bad on Sunday morning. It was morning time here in Vegas, Sunday afternoon back there. I don't think they do that again. I mean, we got Frankie in our ear talking about Maxey. The Knicks defense is going to win this one right now.
All right. They don't have the line up on the series, unfortunately, with the game going on, but you can with the Vancouver one. With Vancouver and Nashville. Nashville's plus 610 to win the series. Little flyer. I was going to parlay that with the 76ers, because I agree. Both teams have shown, Knicks and Sixers, that they can win on the road. So it's nice to be at home. But, could I see Philadelphia winning, tonight and then game 7 after winning game 6? Yeah, definitely, right? But would you grab Nashville plus 610, little flyer, rather than bet them tonight?
Only if you think they're going to win, obviously, tonight. But if you think they're going to win game 6, that has to be the 2-game parlay, because that will leave you sitting with a plus 610 ticket on the dog, and you'll be able to lay the favorite in game 7 for whatever you want. Just work out the math. It's not going. There's no chance on planet Earth, even if Nashville were to play the game with an empty net, that's the only way that Vancouver would be a minus 800 favorite in a single game. So you'll be able to lay less than you take. For the people in the business, that's called arbing. That's called, scalping. There's a lot of different options for that. But yes, you like to make money. I know you got bills all the time. You tell me you got to get the car fixed and, help out with the kids and all that other stuff with the pets and everything else. So it's a good way to earn. You'll earn a little bit right there. So yes, I think you could do that. By the way, we were completely besmirching the Colorado-Miami game, Colorado Rockies at the Miami Marlins. It's turned into a barn burner. The Marlins got 5 runs. It's 5-5.
Wow.
Top of the 10th, and time to make a play on the dog, right? You got to. I mean, this is the extra inning play. I wasn't aware that they were tying the game up. Otherwise, we would have taken a plus. Now we can take another plus. Rockies start with a guy on base. Here we go.
Yeah. Miami's been involved in some wacky games, as bad as they are. They had a 7-0 lead the other day against Washington and lost. They're down 5-0 here and maybe can win. I mean, I'll say this. It's an exciting team. It's not very productive, but it is, they do entertain you, which is, part of the whole big picture, right? So you could grab the Rockies plus 162, runner on second, supposedly 1 out, versus the Marlins, who have yet to bat, obviously, top of the 10th. So that's why they get the runner on second base.
Right.
That might be worth a flyer.
You look at the baseball board. Have you looked at the rest of the baseball board? I mean, we got a couple games that just started or in the 5th inning. Twins and White Sox. I wore the White Sox stuff
How about
tonight.
the Twinkies? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the Twinkies going for their 9th straight win? You know, I haven't paid attention to baseball that much over the last couple of days with all the playoff stuff, but I watched the end of the game last night, and I said, oh, Minnesota's won its 8th in a row. I'm like, what? Really? Who knew? Okay, I got to start playing them.
How about this?
Played them again tonight.
I got this from my friends over at MLB today. 9 in a row the Twins are going for tonight. The first time since June of 2008 that the Minnesota Twins would have won 9 games in a row. And I thought the White Sox were live yesterday. They end up losing a tight one, 3-2. Same thing's happening right now. These bad teams used to give us agita in the book because you need the same team for like 5 months. Every day you go to work, you need the White Sox. So I figured I'd kind of represent the book guys today on the show. Came fully dressed in the Good Guys Wear Black uniform, the old Sox emblem. Pretty sweet. I think the Sox are live. I think this would be the time, wait till if we get, bet it now, bottom of the 5th. Sox to score. Sox to take the lead.
I tell you, I watched the end of that game, and, I'm pretty good. I don't know all players anymore. I used to really, know everybody's lineup and everything, right? But, pretty still handy. I watched, 4 or 5 batters in the bottom of the 9th inning. I was like, it was one obscure guy after another. I'm like, where's Harold Baines? Where are some of the all-time great Ozzie Guillen? And I'm waiting for somebody I've heard of bat for the White Sox. Just oh my goodness,
they're all gone. All gone.
All gone. Wow, is that a bad team?
No more. Yeah.
I mean, just
it's going to be one of those all season. I think they're going to trade away the bad players or trade away any assets they have, and we'll have all new kids, all young players, and a lot of nights this summer betting against the White Sox.
Yeah. Well, they're tied at 2 right now, 5th inning against Minnesota. So they got a runner on. Not bad.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily plus money get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that are been there a couple of years, and then go get the high-profile recruit, and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in Game Live, prime time here on the grid. A lot going on. But there's so much going on. Like, you don't know where you want to go next. One play after another. I'll throw this one out, you little hockey. Carolina 3-2 over the Islanders. Closing out the second period. They're giving you an over-under of 7.5 now. Remember, we had grabbed it earlier under 8.5. Now they're giving 7.5 plus 146. If we get through this second period with a minute left, that might be up to 7.5 plus 150 or 55 or so. I don't know. Well, I got that Florida Tampa Bay game in the back of my mind. Islanders down a goal. They're going to pull the goalie, Patrick Waugh. He's never going to give up. So we could get a couple of empty netters. You need 3 goals. Islanders score. I'm thinking Carolina scores to make it 4-2. Then maybe an empty netter, make it 5-2, or the Islanders score. Then you get another empty netter. I like that over 7.5 plus that big fat juice as well.
You kind of talk yourself into that. I hear you go, well, I like ding, and then I didn't. I was listening to you and watching your mannerisms, and I'm not convinced you're 100% convinced of all of that right now. You're kind of talking it into existence. I think I still like the under. If we could get over 6.5, this has potential for 4-3 or 5-2. Now it's just numbers. Right. We're just looking at numbers. And give me the odd number before the even number. That's what I'm looking at. It falls odd more than it falls even. There's more combinations because it can't be 3-3 because they got to finish it. So,
right.
Give 6.5. I know you like that plus money, but the book knows you like that plus money too. You're always shopping for a good price.
I am.
Just wait.
So you'd rather have the proverbial question, do you want 7.5 plus 164 now with 20 seconds left? Or now it's up to 172. They're tantalizing me here. They're teasing me here.
Watching the show.
Yeah, or we get the 6.5 minus 170. So you want 7.5 plus 170 or 6.5 minus 170. You know which way I'm going. Give me the plus 170.
Yeah, of course. But it's a big difference on the number. Like you got to.
I blew it already. See
what?
The Islanders scored. They tied it at 6 goals
right before the period. They just scored.
They just scored. Unbelievable.
Where's the goal horn? We're watching basketball.
Thank
you. All right. Thank you.
Wow.
Excellent work, Oprah. Yeah. So now we're tied 3-3. Look at that. That's a huge goal. Wetzel.
That's big.
Plus 7.5 is gone now, right?
Yeah, now it's 8.5. Just like that. Just like that. Well, you got to be quick.
Can't hesitate.
You got to be quick. I got too greedy.
You can't hesitate.
I kept on seeing there. We went to 140. Then it was plus 150 and 160. And there's a minute left. They can't score in the final minute. Nobody scores in the final minute.
Oh, yeah. Those are
except when
goals,
I'm waiting.
Too. Those are killer goals.
And I'm waiting for a bigger price.
Look,
yeah.
The Canes better score next. All the momentum's on the Islanders. That's right. That's a big one. Do you remember the show Name That Tune?
Yep.
Right, where I could name that tune in 6 notes, and then you would say 5, and then I would say 4, and you would say 3, and I'd say, all right, go ahead, do it. I felt like we were playing that right there, like name your price. Like, all right, it's 140, it's 160, it's 172. Push the button already, Wetzel, and you didn't do it, and now it's gone, just like that.
Got greedy.
And
I was telling myself.
They have no idea what we're talking about. None.
Yeah. Who was the host of that? I thought that show was rigged. How are they naming songs with 3 notes? Come on. Who's doing that?
I don't know. Somebody.
I mean, that's the same 3 notes in every single song in the world. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a music guy, so I thought that was rigged.
What do you mean? You're Bruce Hornsby in the range. You could name any one of those songs. Ha!
Yeah, John Denver. Absolutely.
Bam!
Listen to little
John
Bob
Denver's
Seger today, too.
I'd make you minus 800 favorite.
Oh, listen. No better singer in the world. Poor guy decided to crash his airplane, but aside from that, he was great. John Denver's great. Oh, yeah. How can't you like John Denver, right? I mean, his music is so uplifting.
Yep.
Anyway, I listened to a little Bob Seger today before work. That was Love Bullet Bob. Love Bullet Bob.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great music. You know, that was classic. Like, that was real music.
Kids, you're going to have to look
Islanders,
that one up, too.
Yeah, you're going to have to, turn the page. You Google that. Great song.
Right.
Now we're at 8.5. Now Islanders are, Carolina's still 2-1 favorites, so you're not getting any great bargain there. Bruins we could have 2 overtime games. We have not had that many overtime games in hockey postseason this year. I mean, it has been very rare. So we might get 2 tonight. 11 minutes left. Boston and Toronto still 1-1. Bruins are down to minus 132. Over under 3.5. Plus 122. They clearly don't think we're getting any goals here in regulation. That's interesting.
Again, this is that one. This is the exact way that they are playing, that they required to play. The Maple Leafs are to win the game and keep the series alive. Because literally, it's shift to shift. Win this shift, boys. Win this shift, boys. Keep it like this. I think, obviously, I don't want to say the final score of this game is 2-1, because if you get a goal and you have enough time to pull a goalie, okay. But Toronto is literally just playing with let's win this shift. Let's win this shift. Let's keep playing the counter puncher role. And why would Boston do anything different, right? This is where that in-game number, if you're looking at a book and you can find a 4.5 where it hasn't been adjusted to 3.5, absolutely play that. Absolutely play under 4.5. That's an auto play if you can find it.
Yeah. Yep. So 1-1. Full baseball board. We'll get into that when we come back. But I was surprised the Red Sox were home favorites against San Francisco today. I'll take that against almost anybody, let alone the Giants, and they're up 4-0. So we got the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. We got Phillies and Angels. Tough loss by the Phils last night. We'll get to it all. Astros are taking the lead.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that have been here a couple of years, and then go get the high-profile recruit, and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live, primetime here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan. I tell you, something came up in baseball here, Dave. I do like as we're keeping an eye on the hockey. It's 1-1, Boston and Toronto, still with about 6 and change left. Knicks up 1 over Philadelphia, 87-86 with 3 minutes left on that one. But Colorado, these extra innings in baseball, they're the best thing a bettor could have. They really are, because when the road team bats, they lead off the inning with a runner on second base, right? And they become, you grab them, or you grab the road team, or let me get it right. You grab the home team because they're underdogs, because the road team is batting with a runner on second base. It's almost like the books forget that the home team will have the same scenario. So you bet the home team when the road team is batting. Even if they score a run, even better, then the lines really shoot up. And then the home team bats with a runner on second base, and they win the game, and then you're sitting on a monster winner, which is what happened in this dopey Miami Marlins Colorado Rockies game. Colorado road team scores a run, goes up 6-5. They become monster favorites. You bet the Marlins. I think I'm guessing they had a 2-run homer, walk-off home run. Either way, they score 2 runs, and the Marlins win 7-6. It's a great bet. They've not kind of caught on to that, how this all works, the boys in Vegas.
No. Well, they caught on. The first thing they did was turn the total off. There was a thing, I actually, that's not really a side hustle, but I'm still wired in with some people and do some consulting work. And the first thing I said was, you have to turn the total off. Both teams start with a runner at second. They're favored to both score a run. So if the game, what are you going to have in-game 12.5 when it's tied 5-5? Like, that's not even fair, because if each team scores, it's going to be 6-6 and they're going to play another inning, or what just happened is going to happen. So that was the first thing they did. We'll probably help them, with this, like us talking it through. Your envelope's coming. I know that for the consulting work. They've already told me that you're on the list. Yeah, they told me. This guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah, so we'll get them. We're helping out the algorithm. We're helping out the people. That's exactly how it should be played, because plus money with the same units, that wins money. If you get plus money on both sides, it's just win a little or win a little more. As the Knicks just take it coast to coast. Big slam. I can't believe I didn't hear Frankie in the background.
I know. He's quiet. I'm surprised.
91-86. Yeah.
I'll tell you, the Knicks have had more breakaway steals and dunks in this game.
Yeah.
76. I don't know how many turnovers they have, but, boy, they've turned the ball over in crucial times. So, Sixers at the free throw line, but I see the Knicks up 3. 91-88.
Okay.
Minute 30 left.
There we go.
So we'll keep an eye on that. Phillies Angels. I saw something happen last night I had not seen before for the Angels. Oh, actually, for the Phillies, however you look at it. But the Angels pitcher threw over to first base too many times with a runner on third base as well. So they had to call a walk. The runner on third base scored. Yeah. I know that's the rule, but I've never seen a pitcher screw up so badly that it actually came into play, but it did last night.
Yeah. A lot of West Coast baseball tonight, and that expect the Phillies to bounce
that being
back
one of them?
In that one. I do. Reds beat the Padres yesterday. The computer picks the Reds again today. That makes perfect sense to me. I kind of like the Reds in that spot again. But, the biggest game of the night, I said this to Ranieri last night, was the Pirates and the A's. Like, this is a big game. And the number yesterday reflected that the Pirates were the favorite in Oakland. And I don't know if we're going to get as good of a game as we got down in Miami tonight between two teams that apparently nobody wants to watch. But Keller's pitching tonight for the Buccos. They're winning tonight because I will be in the building tomorrow. I'm going to the game in Oakland tomorrow to see the Pirates' last trip ever to the Oakland Coliseum, having never been there before. If you watch the game, Wetzel, I'm gonna wave at you and shout you out. I'll be with my friend Justin.
You might be able to. Guess how many people were at the game last night?
2,300
people. You're not far off. 3,500 people.
That's it.
3,528. You're going to be one of tomorrow. I'm going to be looking for the wave.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily plus money get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that are going to be there a couple of years, and then go get the high-profile recruit and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in Game Live, prime time here on the grid. Final seconds of the Knicks game, 96-94. Well, NBA players are so stupid. They really are just like brain dead from the neck up. They really are. So Knicks up 2. They were up 6 a moment ago, but they decided to foul a three-point shooter, and it was a foul. So we'll keep an eye on that. They're at the free throw line with 15 seconds left. Let's talk a little hockey, little baseball as well with our good buddy George Kurtz, who you see here all the time here on the grid. What's going on, George? How are you tonight? Nice red shirt there. I like that. I figured some Islander blue, but we're going with Bobby Knight red. Boy. Interesting.
I don't know if I'm superstitious, but I generally don't wear the teams I'm rooting for. I don't wear their stuff while watching the game. I guess it's just a thing with me that I generally would not do that. Not that I would avoid it on purpose and it just happened to come up. Let's face it, I'm a guy. The next thing out of my closet is what I wear, okay? It's just the first thing that's coming on here. How am I doing? I guess ask me about 45 minutes.
This is great. We got the goal right before the end of the period.
Oh, my goodness.
What happened?
Maxey hit a 3 from half court. They're going to overtime.
Wow.
Wow.
Frankie, you're going to have to put the picture up of me right now as a Knicks fan. Kurtz, look what they did to me. They took me to the merch shop and got me one of everything, okay? I'm going to Oakland tomorrow, meet my buddy Justin. I might do the same thing in Oakland tomorrow. Get one of everything. I'll wave to both of you while I'm there. You'll be able to see me. There's only going to be 3,500 people in the stadium, apparently. Listen, George, how do you feel as an Islander guy? You got a goal right before the period. Me and Wetzel were ready to bury the Islanders. That was it. It was over. 2-0, done. Kaput. 3-1, done. Kaput. George, Smile. Take a breath. It's going to be okay, right? You got a shot. You're going to win this game. Yes?
They have all the momentum, right? They've come back. I mean, you mentioned they were down 2-0, 3-1. Kotkaniemi, when they were up 2-0, hit the crossbar. That's really the play of the game right now. He puts that in. It's 3-0. It's, we're done here. We're not worried about this anymore. So they have all the momentum here. I was surprised on the last goal for the Islanders that the Canes didn't challenge it. It looked like Frederick Anderson when he went to his right post. They had tripped over, I forget who the Islander was in the crease, but tripped over his foot there, and that foot was in the crease, which allowed Casey Cizikas to pretty much put the puck in an empty net there. But this is the Islanders, guys. I feel pretty good right now. Islanders, period. You are the more desperate team. Let's get this win. Let's bring it back to Long Island for Thursday here. See what can happen here. But this is what the Islanders do. They tease you so many times, and then you'll see some kind of stupid goal go in of like 17 people that'll get past Varlamov.
8.5 the total, minus 205. I'm guessing you're not going to bet that with Carolina and the Islanders. Bruins and Maple Leafs still tied at 1. What do we got? 3.5 minutes, George, left to go in the third. Who'd you like in that game? And I imagine that it's not changing any since it's 1-1 late third.
I had the Bruins and the under. All right, so I'm going to get one. Not so sure about the other, right? The under, I thought was an easy play, no Austin Matthews, right? I thought the Maple Leafs they were struggling with him in the lineup. Now without him, I really want to know what's really going on there with Austin Matthews, by the way. This can't just be an illness. He's got to be dealing with something else that he needs medical clearance from before he plays again. So we'll see if he can come back, even if the Maple Leafs win tonight here. On the Bruins, at home, every reason I can tell you is all telling you Bruins, right? They have a thing over Toronto. Swayman's beaten them 18 straight times. No Matthews tonight. It would have taken a lot to bet on Toronto tonight. Plus, we know Toronto doesn't do all that well in the playoffs. Yeah, I'm on the Bruins.
The next two series tonight are both 3-1. Better chance of extending the series, the Winnipeg Jets or the Nashville Predators, in your mind, George?
You would think it would be the Jets because they're at home, right? But, Dave, what's going on with this team? I mean, every year, I'm a Jets believer, and every year they just smash me in the face. Like pretty much tell me you're an idiot for believing in us. Usually it's because Scheifele gets hurt or he gets suspended or something stupid like that. And now Hellebuck, who's your likely Vezina winner, has just fallen apart. Right, completely fallen apart in this series here. There's word that it could be Brossoit in net tonight, not Hellebuck. I mean, nuts.
No,
so
no.
What? I know. I'm just saying they were thinking about it. He's played terrible, Scott. Just god awful here. What's he got? His goals against average is north of 5. I mean, it wouldn't be the craziest thing here. I wouldn't do it, but it wouldn't be the craziest thing here. That being said, to answer Dave's question, I'm going to say the Preds, but I'll be the first to tell you, if the Canucks score first and that crowd goes bananas and the Preds start thinking about what happened in our last game here, that could be a whitewash too here. But I'll say, to answer your question, I'll say the Preds have a better chance to win. That being said, I bet on the Canucks.
Hey, Dave loves the over in that Vancouver-Nashville game. The under. I love the over. I just think a third-string goaltender, if he starts, is going to be a third-string goaltender his second game, not necessarily his first. So what about you? Any thoughts on over-under Vancouver-Nashville?
I kind of lean your way, Scott, more towards the over here. Also because it could be an elimination game, which means Vancouver could pull the goalie with 6 minutes left. What do they care if they lose by 6 goals, 5 goals? Doesn't matter anymore. So you could get more than one empty net goal here too. I lean the over as well. 5.5. I think this could be. Like I said, this gets out of hand. It doesn't surprise me if it's 5-2, 6-2, something like that for Vancouver here. I think. I really think Nashville, by the way, just choking. I mean, there's no other word for it. You choked that game up the other day. I think that's just got to be a killer for them. Like I said, if Vancouver scores first here, I think this is all over.
George, did you stay up late Saturday, last night and watch the Knights and the Stars? And like Saturday, that game was overtime. And that was a late night back east. There's a lot of people that I've been talking to that may have missed the end of both of those games going, how is this thing 2-2, and how is the Stars that big of a favorite going forward? How do you feel about that series now that we're back to all square, 2 more games in Dallas possibly?
Yeah, I don't think we should be surprised it's 2-2, right? Because it's really played that way. We're surprised at how it became 2-2, right? Vegas wins 2 games in Dallas. Dallas wins 2 games in Vegas. That's the shocker here. Never would have seen that happening. That being said, can't say it enough. The better team has been Dallas, and I think they've been the better team by far. I don't think this series has been all that close here. So, and Thompson, for the love of God, stop going down on your knees and staying on your knees during the play. They're all shooting high at him. They know where he is. He goes down early here. He's giving up so many goals at the goal line here as they keep shooting, banging it off his head for crying out loud. Stop it. All right. You got to self-scout here. If the other team knows it, you should know it as well. You got to stop that. I wonder if Dallas is going to run this now and just win it in 6. But I'll take Dallas in 7.
All right, we got 5 late baseball games, one getting underway. Phillies, Angels, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Reds, Padres, good one, Braves, Seattle winning last night, and then Pittsburgh and Oakland. Any winners for us for baseball tonight, George?
Well, I hope so because I'm on a lot of these late games. We'll take the under in the Seattle game, right? That's sort of a must right now. All Seattle does is play to the under. And that's a really good pitching matchup tonight with Castillo versus Ronaldo Lopez there. So certainly on the under in that game. It's a low under. All right, it's 7s. Wow. I mean, generally when you see a 7, that's automatic over for me. You got Seattle, like something playing 70% towards the end of the season. They don't hit. They're a bat short here. And like I said, I think Castillo will keep the Braves in check there. So we're on that. Going to go back at it. No Mike Trout, right? We gets hurt every year. They're stuck. I'm sure they would have liked to maybe thought about moving that contract. Ain't going to happen. He makes too much money, and he only plays, 90 games a year here. And he'll be out now until, mid-June, July, whatever it might be. So I'm on Philadelphia. Give me the Phillies again. Ate it with them last night. I'll go back with them. And, Dave, I'm going back with the Pirates.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
I'm going back. We ate
Fair.
once again. We bought it last night. I'll go back with them.
That's the right side tonight. Keller's going to pitch good. His K prop over. Hopefully he gets, you could probably go, 17.5 outs. There's a bunch of different ways to bet the starter just to get to the 6th. And I think he does that tonight. Go Buccos. That's good, George. I'm glad we're on the same side. I hope your Islanders win and extend the series.
So do I. Give me a couple more days. That's all I want.
That's all.
Overtime, Bruins in Toronto. George, great job as always. Let's get some winners.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily at plus money get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long-term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that are been there a couple of years, and then go get the high-profile recruit and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
Well, there's a great cartoon. Where's George? Where's Curious George now? Oh, Dave, what has happened to George's New York Islanders? It was 3-3. This is like Vancouver and Nashville, 2 nights ago. 3-3 has turned into 5-3. Wow.
Yeah. And I was oohing and awing at the break because, our producer, Frankie, turned me into a Knicks fan and, went to the merch shop, got all the stuff. And, the Knicks are in overtime and I'm not hearing anything from, Master Control. Got very, very quiet for Knicks fans. It's 105-102 Sixers after Maxey hit a bomb to send this thing to overtime. All the people with the best closing line on the total gone. It's over that.
Yep.
204, 203.5. Doesn't matter because it's got 105, 102. That's 207. Minute and a half to go. How do you feel right now if you're a Knicks fan like me?
Not good. Not good.
Not good.
Now, I don't know what screen I have, and it's probably not wise to talk about other TV shows that are going on, but that's kind of what we do with in-game live stuff, right? So my TNT, Dave, flipped off the Knicks game and is giving me the start of Indiana-Milwaukee. How could they do that? Knicks and 76ers are in overtime. Unless, it's got TNT, unless Frankie put it on, the separate TNT channel, whichever one they would have to go to. I know they got to start the game, but why would you show me start Milwaukee, Indiana when you got this game in overtime? All right, so 106-102. Go ahead. You can say something.
No, I was just going to say maybe somebody at Master Control switched your TV because I'm 100% going to be blamed for getting all the Knicks stuff and becoming a Knicks fan, that I was part of the jinx, right? I mean, because I was rooting for the Sixers before, and then this happened, and now the game's over. The total 106-102 now. I just can't. I just want to make sure everything's still working. I haven't heard a word from anybody back at Master Control. Want to make sure everything's okay.
Wow, and I'll tell you, if they were to lose this series, you should see. I don't know if you saw the shot from Maxey yet, right? And I was all set to criticize him because, first of all, the Knicks made only 1 of 2 free throws. Topeka High can make 2 out of 2 free throws with 7 or so seconds left to go up 4, 2 possessions, game over. They make only 1 of 2. Maxey comes down, Dave. He crosses half court. Knicks are laying low, right? He takes a shot that was a good, I would say, 10 feet past the three-point arc.
Yeah.
With 5 seconds left. Still plenty of time to either drive in or whatever. Nothing but net. Like, wow. These NBA guys can hit from what?
I still foul up 3. I like to foul up 3.
Me too. Yeah. These guys are too good in the NBA. They're too good.
Have you
again, the Knicks are the same team that fouled up 6, a couple seconds earlier. So are they smart enough to foul without the guy shooting a 3? Probably not. But I would have. I would be too.
I just got a text from Kurtz. Maybe you did too. He's done even coming on the show where the Islanders are playing ever again. He's done with us. He said it was 3-3. He said it's 5-3. I just got off the show. It was 3-3, and now it's 5-3. So we're to blame for that. We're to blame for the Knicks, meltdown. There's only so much we can do. There's only so much we can do.
Yeah. Thank goodness the Mets game is over and the Yankees already lost on their own. So
White Sox up 4-3. White Sox up 4-3. What?
This White Sox team. Since I started betting against them, they swept the Tampa Bay Devil Dogs.
Yes, they did.
And now they're going to win this game.
Yeah.
By the way, Tampa is losing 6-2 to Milwaukee. I'm at the verge of thinking, maybe this Tampa Bay team, which has been doing with smokes and mirrors, great job for so many years, maybe, just maybe, they're kind of running out of gas. And this is like the old Tampa Bay bad teams. I mean, you get swept by the White Sox. Jeez. And now you follow that up with, losing to Milwaukee bottom 7, 6-2. I got to tell you, that's not a good look.
No.
Especially in the AL East.
When do you really make the judgment? Is it Memorial Day? Like, I still feel like we're learning teams' identities. I feel like there's going to be call-ups. There's going to be some changes. So we didn't really start to, super adjust futures in the book until Memorial Day weekend. Everybody, guys, bosses would take a break, take a long weekend. Everybody would come back and reevaluate everything first week of June. That's the quarter poll essentially. So that's what it is for me. I mean, April kind of gives you that mirage. Sometimes you see things that really isn't there, and sometimes you make snap judgments on things that, come around. I'll never forget when the Nationals won the World Series. I mean, we couldn't give money away on the Nationals, even at the All-Star break, and had a tremendous second half and got it done. So I don't think anybody's out of it. I mean, there's a couple bad teams, obviously, that are out of it, but a team like Minnesota, I'm still trying to figure out their identity until at least Memorial Day. What's your day?
Well, I don't know if I necessarily have a day. It's losses. Like Tampa Bay is dead to me right now.
Oh,
you lose 3 straight to the White Sox. That you stink. The White Sox are going to be bad, right? I mean, they may not be 50-win bad, but they're going to be 100-loss bad. And you get swept. Yeah, you're done. You know what? Could be wrong. Could be jumping to conclusions. Could have been just a bad week, but no. It would take a lot for me to bet on you. You'd have to really turn things around. So it's stuff like that I look at and just say that's not good. That's not good. Pirates up 1-0 already.
Here we go.
Out in Oakland.
Give them a lead.
Not bad. Not bad. All right. Good. So we got to get see, you're rooting for the White Sox. I got the Twins tonight. So we need the Bruins. That's my big play. We need Boston. I don't want to give Toronto any life whatsoever. All right, we'll close up shop next here on the Grid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York team has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I think they're looking for a space where they can be comfortable, perhaps make some NIL money in the process, but be better set up long term as opposed to it being 1 year jumping around.
You want to kind of get your core players that have been here a couple of years, and then go get the high-profile recruit, and then supplement at the transfer portal.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back. In-game live prime time here on the grid. Boy, it's been an overtime night. This postseason been pretty quiet as far as overtimes are concerned for the most part, but we had 2 in hockey. We had 1 in the NBA, which is still going on. 8 seconds left. Philadelphia leading at New York 110 to in a timeout to 106. So the time, boy, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much for the faint of heart to flip switches. And we got a goal already in Winnipeg. Winnipeg 1-0 over Colorado. How about that? Yeah. Boy, just like that, huh? Just like game's not even over and you're giving up hope already, huh? Typical New York fan.
We'll have a lot of hockey to watch later. But yes, in the book, you learn really quick in this life that I've lived for multiple decades that you can change your allegiance on a dime for pretty much any sport. The Pirates are still the one that gets me here. I just want one more World Series. I'm 53. Can I get one in the next 20 years so I remember it? I remember 1979. I just want one more. But I got all the Sixers stuff. I mean, Frankie made sure that I got all the Knicks stuff, but I don't really have it handy. So there it is. Frankie, you can blame me. I got all that Knicks stuff, and now I got nothing to do with it. I don't even know what to do with it. I got this Sixers hat. I got the bucket hat. I mean, we're ready to go, okay? We got a game 6. We're going home.
We got a game
6. Where's the Knicks fans now? Where's Frankie at? He got so quiet. He didn't say nothing. I mean, I hope he goes to Philadelphia. You put a Knicks jersey on Dr. J's statue.
Yeah. That's
what are you doing?
That is, you talk about, you could do that after the series. You can't do that when, can't put the, that jinx on them, even up 3-1. Hey. What's game 6? Pick 'em, Philadelphia, probably 2.5, 3.5. It won't be much, right? Favorites?
Probably opens it's either 3 or 3.5, depending on, I look like everybody's healthy. I mean, the Sixers closed 4.5, 5 in game 4 at home? But they get them on. When are they playing this game? So it's game. Today's Tuesday. When do they play game 6? It wasn't on anybody's agenda.
It wasn't. I'm assuming Thursday
or Friday or what?
Let's see. Let me check Thursday's schedule. Thursday night. Okay. 112, 106 final. Yeah.
All right, I'll be back Thursday. I don't think Frankie will, but I'll be back Thursday. So we'll see. Sixers. That series price, we told you before, if you thought they were going to win, and you definitely think they can win games, you could be in the same situation. If you bet it, the series price, and they win game 6, you're sitting with a plus 540 to start the game. And then, Frankie comes in the book. I'd even let him lay the Knicks on the money line, minus 250. So.
And B finished with 19 points. 19 points. And he had 12 or had 13 after 3, and they gave me 20.5 plus odds. And I said, all right, I'll take a chance. Why not? Even with overtime, he didn't get 20. Maxey, 46. Harris had 19. 46 for Maxey, including that big 3. Wow. Brunson had 40 in the loss.
You called it.
How about that?
All right.
Yeah.
What do you think? Who's winning Toronto-Boston? I mean, obviously the under 3.5 that we did in game, that came home. I know you want Boston. Yeah. Is there any way that Toronto wins this game? Come on.
Yeah. Absolutely. I used a minor black cloud on Philadelphia. I was trying to help Frankie out, but I got a major black cloud. Well, semi-major black cloud on the Maple Leafs. I don't want to see them win. I can't have them win tonight. I just can't. So I got to bet them big. I got to bet them big. So I'll sacrifice it. You got to take one for the team. I'll take one for the team tonight with betting Toronto. Winnipeg 1-0.
Yes.
Well, that didn't take long. So, over's looking pretty good. Indiana, Milwaukee already. 25-19, 3 minutes and change left first. Oh, I love the over in that one. I really did. The boys in Vegas are way off on that because those two guys not playing it. But you're still going with the under on Vancouver, Nashville, I guess.
It's 226.5 already. That game closed like 217. Wow. Yeah, so they're already, somebody in the room's going, we were way off on that number. That was bad.
Toronto wins.
Uh-oh!
I didn't have time to put the major bet in. I was going to wait till after the show.
Is Frankie still even
30 seconds
in
left of the show.
Studio? Is he still in the studio? I mean, we didn't even get the goal horn. Wetzel. See you later.